Sup my dudes, Valk here. Today we're going to be showing off the main unit of Christmas, Doma. I think Doma is a lot better than people give him credit for. I think he's actually a pretty good unit. I actually almost have a max limit broken. So this is going to be one of the best Domas you guys are going to get a chance to see. You guys can see here. Yeah, I think he's actually really good. It's just, there's a couple things to consider whenever you're actually using him. One of them is the fact that his main team that you're going to use him on is Devil Power. Outside of that, he just doesn't share a lot of teams in common. Maybe there's a couple Bloody Hunt, but there's not a lot of other teams that he can run on that you're going to run on one females too. So before I get into it, a lot of you guys know his mechanic, the fact that he eats any females around him. He'll eat your females and that'll make him stronger. But a lot of people kind of don't get how it works. It's based off their attack, meaning you want them to be buffed to the high heavens. I'll showcase how that works in a minute and show you guys that you get more basically off of feeding him just buffed up allies. So you do want to use buffs. You do want to get them buffed up. We're gonna swap out Darkflower here for Oshi, just for Oshi buff, because he'll also eat Oshi. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And his damage is really, yeah, because he has freeze too and he can get really high attack. His damage is insane. You guys are going to see that here in a second as well. His damage is wacky because of the fact that he can get freeze too, and you can get his attack stat to, like, the most I've gotten in an actual run is like 3 million. 3 million on freeze too. He was doing so much damage. I think I ended a run with him on like 20 billion damage. This is like, we didn't even get to wave 40 yet on the new Christmas event. He's so good. He's really good. A lot of people are very much underestimating how good Freeze 2 is, especially on a character that, you know, has really high attack scaling. Like, he can get his attack stat very high up. So let's go ahead, let's put him down. And then let's put down all of our females. We're going to put down Oshi, and then we're going to hit Idle Buff. We're going to go ahead and put down Uta. We're going to do all this, and we're just going to get him all the way up. Oh, I didn't show his attacks first. I'll do that in a second. Yeah, we'll look at the attacks in a second. I genuinely haven't looked at them at all. I don't even know if I have effects on. Yeah, I don't know what his attacks are. Alright, so we'll look at them in a second. I can just sell him real quick, right? Yeah. So let's sell him, and then let's look at what the attacks are. So first one. Okay. That one's kind of whatever. I ain't gonna lie. That one's not. Oh, that one's cool. There's a whole lot going on with that one. That one's a neat one. Alright, what's this one? This is basically his big one. Oh, it's just a big one. Okay. Alright, I see. Okay. So we're gonna get like, we're gonna just do one feed cycle on each of them because I don't want this video to take 20 minutes. But yeah, you can go crazy with the feeding. You can feed them a ton of stuff. We do have the Oshi buff. We gotta wait for it to cycle. We're gonna put it on ×5 speed here in a second. We could do the Uta buff instead. Let the Uta buff pop up. That's gonna be pretty nice. But yeah, we just want to make sure we have all the females down as much as possible. Alright, so we're going to pop the Uta buff up, and then we're going to Yoinky Spelunky. And you can see here, he has, I think his Oshi's buff still active, but he's at 1.22 million. He gained 500k off of eating all of that. So it's not very cost efficient to actually feed into him. But if you're doing an infinite, it can be pretty good, because I'll show you guys eventually the team that I plan on running with him, and I do think, like I said, I do think he's actually pretty good. So now we're going to go ahead and do it again. This time we're just going to do it with a different Doma, and we're just going to give them, like I said, one good little munchie each. We're going to give them all a each one we're going to give a little upgrade. That way we can see about where they're actually at and see where they're able to do. There's a couple suggestions I want to make for this unit. I do think he's really good, and I think he could be a little bit better if they did a couple things. One, don't make this a cooldown. Make it so you can feed into him instantly, so you can just constantly ramp him up. You're already sacrificing your units. It's kind of whatever. It's kind of redundant to kind of lock your ability to sacrifice your unit. 2, buff up his stats and make him single placement. It feels really awkward to have to work on more than one Doma and sacrifice, you know, units to more than one Doma because you really just want to full send the one Doma. Because he has, theoretically, infinite attack scaling. Like, you can just amp him up to the absolute moon. In theory, that's absolutely what you can do with him. So, I don't know why they make it so, you know, make it weird like that, essentially. Like, look at the difference in... Oh, wait! Did they all get it? No. Okay, yeah, they have the same attack stat. I was about to be like, no way! No way they all get it. Yeah, no, they had the same attack stat. You can see that. Alright, so, one more Doma. Just to get them all to the really high attack stat. And we're going to do this. And like I said, it feels weird having to work on 3 like this. Because this is place limit. This place limit's 3, right? So, it does feel extremely weird. And I don't really think it's, like, that good to have to work on 3. Because you're only really going to work on 1. Like, he does have a place limit of 3, but you're only ever placing 1 of them. Which is why I said they should really make him singular placement. I don't see a point in, you know, like I said, upgrading all 3 of them. Because you're not ever going to really work on more than 1 at a time. Especially with the way Freeze 2 works, like, singular placement's kind of it's kind of the wave for it. So let's do this. Let's do this. Pop it. And bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So now you guys can see he has a really long cooldown on this, but he's able to get up to about 1.3 million attack stat, and that's actually really, really damn good. And we can do it again. Let's go ahead and let's do it again on the 1. Let's just make one of them like giga strong, right? Because I want to showcase how strong Freeze 2 is here. Let's try to get one to like a 3 mil attack stat real quick. So we're going to do this. We're going to get them all up really quickly. We're going to bring in the Utas. Uta, see, they all get pretty high attack stats. Alright. And then Makima. And then we're going to make sure that's off. And we're going to set this to 5 times speed. So I do want to get, like I said, I do want to get one of them really strong just for the showcase. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to wait the timer down. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things they can do to fix them. 1, get rid of this timer. I think this timer to lock, you're already sacrificing a ton of, as far as like money goes to actually like into this unit. I actually think that the amount he gets per doing this, right? I actually think it's fine. Did that just go down? But I actually think it's fine the amount of money he's getting for doing this, right? And you guys can see, like, it's not a lot of attack he actually gets from doing this. It's not. But he can reach some really, really funny attack values. He can reach some crazy stats. The more you... Oh, I forgot to amp them. True! That's why he didn't get anything. Yeah, make sure you buff your units before you feed them. It's because, like I said, the amount of attack he gets directly correlates off of their attack stat. So you definitely want to make sure you are buffing your units before you feed them. And right there you can see what happens if you don't. You don't get a whole lot from them, period. You got to make sure you're buffing your units before you feed them. That way you get the absolute most out of them. Yeah, it's really, really important you do that. So here we got everybody done. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to, just to make sure, we're going to do this one more time and then feed. And now you guys can see the difference in like attack he was able to get. It's still 548k. I know it doesn't hard cap. Maybe it hard caps in training mode specifically. That might make a lot more sense. Hard capping in training mode. Because it's not supposed to hard cap. Like, it seems like I am hard capped on as far as like actual attack goes. Yeah, it really doesn't want me to go higher than this. Okay, so I'm just going to assume I'm hard capped in training mode. So we're going to do the showcase with just this. We're going to leave Oshi up just with the Oshi buff. And we're going to see exactly what he can do. I think I gave them a 50 million HP enemy before. So we're going to do that. I think it's 50 mil, right? We gave all the other ones 50 million HP. So let's see exactly how he does with 50 mil. Oh, we're going to turn this off. that is my eardrums. And 50 mils dead. Remember when I told you guys that Freeze 2 is broken and does a lot of damage? Remember when I said that? So let's try a 1 billion. Let's try a 100 million HP enemy first. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. So you guys can see his health is just disappearing. Almost like Freeze 2 is an extremely broken mechanic. 100 million HP enemy, down. Like it's nothing. Absolutely not. Like butter, dude. Poof. And you guys can see the damage that they're doing. It's really crazy. It really is. Okay, so now we do 1 billion. First, let's do 500 million. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 500 million HP. Let's see how they do. They're melting him. I don't think they get this one though, I'm gonna be real. Because I think he gets out of the range in time. It's gonna be curious though. They are shredding him. So when do you meet the saw? What like when is the when do you just get too much? Let's see. Okay, yeah, he's out. So they were able to do 425 million damage in this short range. I'm sure if I put them here in the center instead and optimize a little bit more, it'd be kind of crazy. But yeah, this Doma's insane. It takes a lot of work to get him up and running. You can only really run him in Devil Power. This is the only team that I think you can actually run him in, because then you actually have like Makima that you can feed into him, which is what the main plan is. You feed him Maki and Oshi in the actual run. I'll show you guys like later on what I think like an actual team for Doma would be. This is just something I threw together just for a showcase. But yeah, Doma's insane, guys. Don't listen to anybody saying Doma's mid. They don't know what they're talking about. This character's wacky in terms of damage. I think he's one of the best damage units in the game, personally speaking, because of the amount of damage he can pump out and the fact that he somewhat cheap, not really cheap because you got to feed units into him, but he can be a very, very valuable unit. I could see him being very strong for like infinites because of his damage scaling. It is infinite. It doesn't hard cap. I know it's hard capping here. I don't know why it's hard capping in a training field, but yeah, it is hard capped in the training field, but it's not hard capped in the actual runs. I've been able to get to 3 million damage with him. And you can imagine if he's doing this much at 1 million, imagine what he does at 3. So yeah, anyways, I think Dome is a very, very crazy unit. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.